Hello and welcome to Agenda. I am Ajay Kaul. In this program today we will be discussing about the present state of Indian economy. The country's economy is in bad shape and there is no doubt about it. Reserve Bank of India Governor Shaktikanta Das has said once again that GDP will be in the negative zone in the current financial year. The IMF in April had forecast India's GDP for 2020-21 to be 1.9%, but RBI projection clearly points to a scenario worse than that. The RBI announced a number of measures to help boost the economy. In the agenda today, we will analyze whether and how these measures will be helpful. We have with us two prominent economists, Akash Jindal and Mukesh Mohan Gupta. But before we start the conversation, let us have a look at this small report.
With coronavirus and the associated lockdowns crippling the country's economy, the Reserve Bank of India has been doing its bit to limit the damage by announcing a slew of measures in the latest decision. The RBI kept the repo rate untouched at 4% and reserve repo rate at 3.35%, while maintaining the accommodative stance. Repo rate is the rate at which the RBI lends money to bank, while reverse repo rate is the rate at which it borrows from bank. RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das said that the space for a further cut is available, but it was advisable to be judicious in actions. When the RBI cuts rates, banks are expected to pass on the benefit to customers and reduce interest rates on home, auto, personal or other loans, which may result in lower EMIs. Among other decisions, the RBI announced Rs 10,000 crore additionally liquidity facility to be provided by National Housing Bank and NABARD. With an aim of spurring real estate sector, it announced enhancement of loans against gold to 90% from the current level of 75% to help the households impacted by the lockdown. The central bank has also decided to permit a one-time restructuring of the corporate loans, the detail of which will be spelled out by a committee. Thus, while making this announcement, said that the country's GDP is projected to be in the negative zone for the current financial year. He said that the economic activity has started to recover, but the surge in coronavirus cases has forced impositions of lockdown and hence the early signs of economic revival are subdued. The RBI noted that the CPI inflation remains largely subdued across major economies. The CPI inflation rose in June amid cost push pressure in emerging market economies, says Das. Adding supply chain disruptions persist with implications for both food and non-food prices. The headlines inflation is expected to remain elevated and could ease in the second half of the financial year. The government has tasked the Reserve Bank to keep inflation around 4%. The central bank mainly factors in the consumer price-based inflation CPI while formulating the monetary policy. As per the latest data, higher prices of food items, especially meat, fish, cereals and pulses, pushed the retail inflation to 6.09% in June. The inflation rate for the month of July will be announced on August 12th. Bureau Report.
Let's welcome our guests and let me begin by asking first question to Mr. Jindal. Mr. Jindal, I want to ask you, RBI has put a pause on interest rates. What does it mean?
What it means is that, earlier, twice the interest rates have been reduced. Now what has happened is, you are a seasoned journalist. RBI has to keep a balance between reduction of interest rate and inflation. Now, inflation is quite high, particularly because of supply side constraints. Because of the lockdown, because of the corona situation, food items couldn't be supplied that time in the market. So inflation is high. So right now the RBI is focusing more on inflation control. That's why RBI has not reduced the rates of interest. And according to my organization, akashjindal.in also, it's a wise move because RBI has to strike a fine balance between interest rate and inflation control. Yes, RBI should give growth importance. So to give growth and impetus, interest rate reduction is something very important. But on the other hand, inflation also needs to be controlled because right now, also as you know, the situation is such. People's incomes have reduced, people's salaries have reduced. In certain places, people are not earning anything, whereas people's expenditure are increasing. So right now, inflation control and inflation management is also very, very important. So I think it was a wise move on behalf of Monetary Policy Committee of RBI to decide not to decrease the rates of interest. Earlier it has been done so, but again what has happened is there is not much credit offtake in the industry. Earlier when MPC reduced rate of interest, credit was not much in the industry. Industry didn't take much credit. But yes, there have been certain other moves which I think are quite praiseworthy. The biggest, I think, takeaway from RBI policy call sab is the one-time resettlement plan which RBI has given. Now, there would be many borrowers who are not able to keep up with the EMIs. Now, earlier we were having moratorium till 31st August, which was extended up to 31st August. Now, the restructuring of the loan, a one-time restructuring of loan, that is something which is going to benefit many borrowers, and that is going to keep the liquidity position also intact. Apart from that, of course, on gold also the borrowing capability has been increased. I think that's also a good move that now people who have gold, I mean gold is lying idle with many people who have been mobilizing it since years or perhaps since the last or even 2 generations. So that gold power also can be used by those people. So I think overall the RBI policy, I think it was a good policy. But yes, the main thing which the takeaway, this is one of the takeaways from the policy is that RBI is saying that the GDP growth may be in negative this year. Of course, in the if the corona is contained, then there could be some positivity. But overall, the message is that GDP growth is perhaps going to be negative.
Mr. Jindal, RBI has announced 10,000 crores of additional liquidity for NHB and NABARD. So how do you think it will translate into action and help the common man?
I think it would actually have a lot of positive benefits also for the common man, because the real estate sector is in amongst the troubled sectors. Now, real estate needs to be helped because ultimately we are chasing a dream where we want to give houses to each and every person, housing for everyone. So I think who are the people who have to deliver houses? These real estate people. And there has been a lot of stress in real estate because real estate, they have been not getting much liquidity for the past 3 years. There have been certain project delays also. And the ultimate impact is on the person who is looking for his house, who had booked his house 5 years ago, 4 years ago, who is paying EMIs also. And still, there are people who are paying EMIs also and rent also. So real estate sector needed to be rescued. So I think it is a right move in the right direction. Now there would be liquidity in the real estate sector. Money would go to the real estate sector, the developers, the builders. That's how people would be able to get their houses on target or perhaps sooner. Now, again, the second thing about real estate sector is that it's a huge employment provider. Now, real estate sector and construction sector. Now, if building has to be made, where 100 flats have to be built. Now, that building, construction of this building would give employment to
Mr. Jindal, NHB and NABARD are not the only builders in the country, no, isn't it? You need to help the private builders. Even I have heard that NBCC told the Supreme Court recently about they don't have money to take up projects which are lingering, those JP projects. So, what do you do about those things?
No, National Housing Bank, the name itself suggests NHB is meant for finance of housing finance. So overall, if we talk about real estate industry, there are no two views that real estate industry is not in a good shape. Real estate industry needs lots and lots of help. Definitely, there is lot more which needs to be done by the central government and by the state government. There are no two views on that. I think on an overall basis, what we saw is perhaps 5 years, 6 years ago, there were certain builders who overcommitted themselves, who leveraged themselves, who overcommitted themselves, and who were not in a position to deliver. Now we all know Paul Saab. I have been doing a lot of TV shows. You would also have been doing a lot of TV shows on certain developers who couldn't deliver on time. There were litigations. There were people who had to resort to all sorts of protests. So there are no two views that real estate sector needs to be helped. So one help which is required is liquidity. Liquidity for the house buyer, liquidity for the developer. Secondly, of course, apart from the financial angle, monitoring is very, very important. Then monitoring should be done that if a building is coming up and somebody has been committed that will be delivered the flat in 2 years, there should be proper monitoring and implementation. And if somebody doesn't do that, then there should be some penalties also, so that the flat is constructed in 2 years, so it's handed over to the person. Then only would we be able to fulfill the target of housing for everyone by 2022.
Okay,
So
now
there
let.
are no two done as far as the housing sector is concerned. But yes, I think it is one of the steps. This would at least increase liquidity. This would at least infuse liquidity, which is much, much required. So liquidity is something which is definitely required. And apart from that, this is a huge employment providing sector. See, it provides, construction provides employment to so many workers, masons, electricians, plumbers.
Okay, I understand. Okay, I understand, Mr. Jindal. Mr. Mukesh Mohan Gupta has joined us. So let me ask him about the RBI policy recently announced and measures announced by the government, by the RBI. So in that connection, I also want to say that RBI said that the economic growth is subdued because of COVID and lockdowns, while the government says economic revival has started. So how do you see that?
So Ajay, thank you very much. And so the major announcement which was done by Reserve Bank of India in the recent monetary policy is restructuring of the account. I suppose this was the demand from the industry since the last few months, because loan is one thing. The government has already announced collateral-free 20% automated loan, in fact, to all the MSME sector. And now recently, another demand of the MSMEs has also been accepted by the government, because earlier you will be aware that this loan of 20% was to be given to the organization, to the MSMEs having the turnover up to 100 crore. But then Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises has changed the definition of MSME, and the enterprises having the turnover up to 250 crore are now covered under MSME. Now, there was a demand from the MSME that since the definition has changed, and now the MSMEs are those enterprises, whether manufacturing or service, which have turnover up to 250 crore. So they were demanding that this emergency credit line, fully guaranteed by the government, should be allowed, should be given to the enterprise having the turnover up to 250 crore. That has already been accepted, with another relaxation that now this amount will be up to 50 crore in place of 25 crore. So that is one thing which the government has done. The another very important demand from the industry was the restructuring of the loan. See, Ajay, restructuring was never stopped. In fact, it was already available. But the problem is that bankers were not very positive in doing the restructuring, because after the restructuring, the account turns as non-performing assets, meaning thereby that the banks are required to do the provision of the substandard account if they do the restructuring even of a standard account. Now, Reserve Bank of India has come up with restructuring facility for both. They have extended the date for the restructuring of MSME sector, and for the large sector also, they have come up with one-time restructuring. I suppose this was the most demanding issue by the corporates, by the MSMEs from Reserve Bank of India. So we all thank to Reserve Bank of India, to the Government of India for this thing. As far as your concern,
isn't the restructuring of loans only for those who are defaulted? I think, isn't it?
No, sir. Rather, it's different. So the Reserve Bank of India has certain conditions that restructuring can be done off the standard account. They have decided a cut-off date in case of MSMEs and non-MSMEs, but the restructuring will be done under this policy of the accounts which are standard. I suppose you are referring to some other policy. So the other policy is a subordinate debt policy, wherein the government has told that the account of MSMEs will be restructured along with the subordinate debt with maximum 75 lakhs rupees. So that scheme covers those accounts which are either SMA2 or have already turned NPA. But as far as this policy is concerned, which has been announced recently by the Reserve Bank of India under its monetary policy, is for the accounts which are as on the cut-off date standard and not NPA. So this is a big help to the MSMEs as well as the large corporates, because we all know that the accounts and the economy and even the bankers are under stress. So to save everybody, to save the economy, to save the enterprises, to save the bankers, I suppose this restructuring was very much needed. And this has now been announced by Reserve Bank of India. As far as your question is that, what is the state of economy, I suppose there is no doubt about it that yes, not only of India, but globally, we are observing that economy is not that good as it was before COVID. And we were observing that the economy was not very aggressive even before this COVID started. But after this COVID, it is a natural phenomena that so much of lockdown, so much of problem, economy has to face some problem, in fact. So I suppose everybody, be it Reserve Bank of India, be it Government of India, everybody is accepting that yes, there are certain issues in the economy. Only because of this, Ajay ji, you are saying that government is saying that there is no problem in the economy. But why and how this government has come up with 20 lakh crore package, in fact, for the economy? Because they are aware that yes, there are certain problems in the economy. So they have come up with 20 lakh crore package for MSME, for poor people, for agriculture, for every sector.
Mr. Gupta, rupees 20 lakh crore is a long-term measure. But right now, supply chain still continues to be disrupted. Even the RBI has said that. So how do you correct that? That is the real need of the hour, isn't it?
No. So, sir, this 20 lakh crore, part of it is for the long term and part of it is for the short term also. Like I was talking about that 3 lakh crore rupees emergency credit line. This 75 lakhs rupees per account maximum under subordinate debt. Then the fund of funds scheme is also about to come. It has already been approved by the cabinet committee of the government. Then this change in the definition. Then the delayed payment, in fact, issue is also being tackled by the government. So out of this 20 lakh crore, many of the packages are for the short-term solution or the resolution for the growth of the economy.
Okay, Mr. Jindal wants to say something.
So what I want to say is, I was talking about developers. Let me finish that. Now, we have seen good developers also, which have delivered on time, and we have seen some developers who couldn't deliver on time. Now, what I firmly feel is that since we need to give houses to everybody, so those developers who have not been able to deliver, they need to be helped. As far as funds are concerned, the government, the RBI needs to help them, because ultimately the target is to give houses to everybody. So that's what the target is. So I think the RBI, the banking sector, the government needs to help those developers who have been not able to complete the projects on time. Now, when you are talking about the supply side issues, yes, I am totally with you, Kaul. There have been huge supply side issues. Now, supply side issues is one of the major problems which the country needs to address. Of course, we all know that's not RBI's domain, but our central government and state government, they need to do lot as far as supply side issues are concerned. Now, see, we just saw floods in some of our states, which actually crippled supply side, and inflation goes to a lot extent. Prior to that also, during lockdown, I think there was inefficient management at many places, because of which supply side constraints erupted. See, right now, in the month of April, May, June, actually the inflation was not a demand-supply issue wherein the supply is lesser and the demand is higher. It was only the supply not reaching the place of demand at time. That was the major concern. There have been cases where trucks have been stranded for days, for a week, for 10 days, just because there is no proper information, there is no proper direction. So what does that mean? That a trucker would be delayed, essential items have been delayed, and inflation has risen. So I think supply side management needs to be done very, very efficiently, the central government and the state government. Now, it has been said repeatedly that we'll take care of supply side measures, but every time there's a problem, we find that supply side measures generally take they take the bigger cake. They play a bigger role in increasing inflation rather than the actual demand supply gap. Because see, even if you compare to last year, our eating lifestyle, our eating habits have not changed. So we are consuming almost the same which we were consuming last year. So the production also, there has not been any decrease. The only thing is that there have been supply side constraints. Things have not reached the market.
And production has dropped, supply has dropped, and I guess when people have lost livelihood, demand will also drop. If the demand, because so many people have lost livelihood and income has dropped, income is dipping again, continues to dip. So income dips and so the demand also dips, isn't it? So how you see that situation?
No, very, very relevant point which you have picked up also. That's the biggest problem. I'll put it in a Hindi phrase. In fact, there was a Hindi movie, Amdani Athanni Kharcha Rupaya. I think that is where we are standing, and that's the biggest trouble point. That's the biggest pain point. Now, let me tell you, in many places, people have been retrenched. There have been places where people's salaries have been reduced. I know some organizations where people's salaries have been converted into incentives, that you go and sell. Whatever you sell, we will give you incentive. So in turn, what has happened is, I've been talking to certain people that I was getting 1 lakh rupees earlier as monthly salary. Now, since I have been not been able to sell because of the market, my salary has been converted into an incentive, and what I am getting is 30 to 40,000 rupees per month. And expenses, the household expenses, it's easier to say that you reduce your household expenses, but household expenses, I don't think it's easy to reduce. Rather, it's almost impossible to reduce household expenses. Rather, inflation has increased household expenditure. So that is where the trouble lies, that people's incomes have reduced, people's incomes have stopped in certain cases. Certain cases, businessmen have rather gone into losses because operational expenses have been high and they have not been able to meet the operational expenses. There, the problem is very, very large, very, very huge, and that is what going to impact the demand also.
So that is,
because where is the demand now?
Demand
is only for essentials. Demand is for atta, dal, chini, milk, vegetables.
That is for the essential, basic needs. That is the basic needs, but not the other items. Yeah.
That's what I'm coming to, sir. I share what you are saying, that these are the basic needs. But how does the economy move? Economy only moves when we have demand for comforts and luxury.
Yes.
Economy only moves when you would see families going out for shopping.
You have extra money to spend.
People going out to buy new automobiles. People going out to buy new houses. People going for outings. So that is how the economy moves. Economy moves when people go out to a shopping mall, buy something for 5,000 rupees. Then in the evening they want to see a movie in the shopping
Mr.
mall.
Jindal,
And then they have dinner.
Let me now turn to Mr. Gupta. Mr. Gupta, I want to ask about the RBI's new measure about giving loans against 90%, raising that 90% to goal. So how do you see that situation?
No, I suppose this is a good sport. What Mr. Jindal was telling, that the fund should be available in the hands of the consumer. So the gold, we all know, is lying in our lockers. So this loan to asset ratio, loan to gold ratio has been increased by Reserve Bank of India. I suppose it's a good move by Reserve Bank of India to bring more money into the hand of the consumer. But I would like to add one more thing. See, we are in lockdown or partial lockdown since last about 4 months. To me, the most important thing nowadays is to save the life of the citizens also. Government is also, they are also seeing this problem, this pandemic for the first time. Nobody has faced this type of problem earlier. So for everything, we cannot see only towards the government. What Mr. Jindal was referring, I could not hear the entire conversation, in fact. But what I could understand that we all have our common duty, in fact. We have to work like a team. We cannot see for everything towards the government that you do this. We should understand their limitation also. We all have to be ethical as far as the builders are concerned. So they have to be. We have seen that what has happened in past, in fact, where the buyers have paid the money, in fact, they have taken the loan and they have waited for years and years, in fact, to get their flat possession. So we all have to work in this direction to come out of this problem. And I am very positive that we will win. There will not be any problem. Maybe after 5 months, 6 months, the things will again come to its original shape. And I don't feel any problem.
So Mr. Gupta, I may beg to differ here, because I think the problem, economic crisis, is only unfolding right now. It's still unfolding because people are losing livelihood now. It will have impact maybe 5 months down the line, 6 months down the line. Demand will decrease. They will not have money to spend. So I am seeing situation 5-6 months, it will be further deteriorating. Do you agree or not?
No,
Yes, I think you are
I
right,
agree with you,
Kausar.
but there are
The deterioration
different
Jindal Sahab, Mr. Jindal, Mr. Gupta is answering. I'll come back to you, Mr. Jindal. Mr. Jindal, I'll come back to you. Mr. Gupta is answering. I'll come back to you.
Ajay, thank you very much. So there are different sectors, in fact. We will see some sectors will grow faster than which they were going, in fact. Some sectors will definitely face the heat. And as I was just reading the news of Honorable Finance Minister, that they are concerned.
Sir, can you,
like
Mr. Gupta, can you specify the sectors which will be doing well? Maybe we'll have some positive news.
Yeah. So sectors like hospital, then food items will be there, agro-based item will be there, right? So all essential commodities. IT sector will boom. In fact, we have seen, I and you, we are talking on digitally. So this IT sector, I was discussing with one of the dealer of computer. He was telling me that there is so much of demand of the laptop, computers, and all those things. In fact, they don't have the goods with them. So IT sector is there. Other essential commodities are there. I suppose the boom is there. I have discussed with many IT companies. They don't have any time. They have ample orders with them. So definitely these sectors will grow at a faster speed. But yes, hospitality, real estate is there. They will definitely face some problem. But as I was
manufacturing, sir, manufacturing, all other sectors will be facing problems.
Sir, manufacturing so manufacturing also, some sectors, as I told you, agro-based products are there, other essential commodities are there. Those sectors, those manufacturing sectors will definitely be faster than what they were earlier. But many sectors, like some plastic items, some toys, some machines, they will definitely face some problem. And it is very natural. See, this COVID-19 is not a result of any activities of any political party, of any government.
We are not talking about politics. We are not talking about politics. We are talking economy.
So what I am trying to say, that we have to, not only in India, globally we have to face this problem. But what I mean to say, and what I am trying to convince, that we all have to collectively work to come out of this problem.
Okay, we all have to work. Okay, we all have to work collectively. We are running out of time. One last brief comment by Mr. Jindal. You want to say something?
I think, Kausar, I have to support you as far as the demand reduction continuation is concerned. I think yes. The biggest trouble for us is, the biggest worry for us is what sort of Diwali and what sort of post-Diwali North Indian marriage season, which is called Saha, are we going to happen? Because prior to Diwali, the pre-Diwali demand and the pre-Saha demand, the Northern Indian marriage season demand, that plays a very vital role in increasing demand in the economy. And as of now, the way situation is unfolding, I think my organization, Akashindal.in, feels that Diwali demand would be lesser, and perhaps we wouldn't be having that grandeur, that huge, big, fat Indian weddings. So that is, I think, going to impact the demand. So I don't think demand picking up this year, this calendar year by December. Of course, in case we are able to contain the COVID by December, or in case we have a vaccine or medicine, I think January to March the demand may pick up. But as of now, things seem bad, and we not the government is doing, RBI is also acting, but a lot needs to be done, because in India we have to see our BPL brothers and sisters. We are having a huge
so Mr.
chunk
Jindal,
of BPL brothers and sisters.
I heard
who
Mr.
need to
Jindal,
be
I
helped.
heard Mr. Jindal, I heard you. So clearly we are in for difficult times, challenging times. Thank you both of you for participating in this debate. This is all in the agenda today. Thanks for watching. I will be back with another important topic on Monday. Till then, goodbye.